Okay, folks, at the end of last week, we briefly talked about an introduction to polygons. We talked about what a polygon is, and we talked about classifying polygons by the number of sides, so like triangle, quadrilateral, pentagon, and things like that. So hopefully you've watched that video, you've done some practice with that, and so you have a basic understanding of what a polygon is and how to name a polygon based off the sides. Today, what we're going to just talk about is the interior angles, the angles on the inside of a polygon, and how many degrees there are in a polygon. Okay? So, for example, with a triangle, we already know from what we've talked about that there are 180 degrees inside a triangle. We already know that. So we know that the three angles add up to 180 degrees. So 1 plus 2 plus 3 adds up to 180 degrees. We already know that. Okay? The question is, how many degrees are there if there's 4 sides and 4 angles? How many degrees are there total if there were 5 sides and 5 angles, and so on? And the way we can think about this is pretty easy. If you think about it, we already know that a triangle has 180 degrees. So in a 4-sided figure, in a quadrilateral, how many triangles would you have without it overlapping? If I draw in this diagonal here, there's 2 triangles. Right? A quadrilateral is made up of 2 triangles. So that means you're going to have 180 degrees here and 180 degrees here. 180 times 2, 360 degrees. So 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 will equal 360 degrees. So in a quadrilateral, there will actually be 360 degrees because there's 2 triangles within that quadrilateral. Now what about a pentagon here, right? If I have a pentagon and I try to draw some triangles inside that pentagon, I can actually fit 3 triangles within that pentagon. So for a pentagon, the total number of degrees, I'll have 180 degrees for each triangle, and there's 3 of them, so that's going to be 540 degrees. So angle 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 adds up to 540 degrees. Okay? So this is how we figure out how many degrees there are inside a polygon. A triangle we know has 180 degrees, so it all comes down to how many triangles can you fit in that polygon without overlapping the triangles. Okay? So here we had 1 triangle was 180 degrees. Here a quadrilateral was 360 degrees because there were 2 triangles. Here a pentagon was 540 degrees because you could fit 3 triangles. Okay? Now you don't have to draw it out every single time. There's actually a shorter way than that to do it. So let's look at a couple more. So let me make, how about a hexagon, which has got 6 sides. 6 sides. Right? So how many triangles are going to fit into that? Can you guess? There's actually going to be 4 triangles. 4 triangles. 1, 2, 3, 4. So to figure out the number of degrees, we're going to do 4 times 180. Okay? 4 times 180. It's always, the number of triangles is always 2 less than the number of sides. 6 sides, 4 triangles. Right? So 4 times 180 is going to be 720 degrees total. Right? 720. How about an octagon? Now 8 sides. So how many triangles are going to fit in there? 6, right? 2 less than the number of sides. 6. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we would do 180 degrees times 6, right? 180 times 6. 1080 degrees. Okay? So if you're trying to figure out how many degrees there are in a polygon, all you have to do is take the number of triangles that will fit in that polygon, which is going to be 2 less than the number of sides, and multiply by 180. So the formula we usually use is the number of sides minus 2 less, times 180. That tells you how many degrees are inside that polygon if you add up all the angles. Okay? So let's think of a couple more here. Okay? So I'm not even going to draw it out. What if we had a 7-sided figure? A hectagon. How many degrees would there be inside a 7-sided figure? Well, I need to know how many triangles they're going to be. If it's 7-sided, remember, it's always 2 less than the number of sides, and then I multiply by 180. So if it's 7-sided, there are going to be 5 triangles that fit inside that figure. 2 less, 7 minus 2, times 180. So 180 times 5, quickly do that, 900 degrees. Okay? So if you're trying to figure out the total number of degrees inside a polygon, all you do is you take 2 less than the number of sides and you multiply that by 180. Because that's ultimately how many triangles there are inside that figure. And we know each triangle is 180 degrees. Okay? Now quickly, what if, we've already talked a little bit about, what if I had a triangle, for example, and I know there's 180 degrees, and what if I tell you that all the angles are the same, which we call that a regular polygon. Regular polygon is when all the angles are the same and all the sides are the same. So what if this was completely regular? It was perfect that all the sides are the same and all the angles are the same. How much would one angle be? Right? Well, if it's 180 degrees in the whole triangle and there's 3 angles, all you have to do is divide by 3, right? And so one angle would be 60 degrees. So if all the angles are the same in the polygon, all you have to do is divide the total by how many angles there are, right? So what about if it was a quadrilateral? We know a square is a regular quadrilateral. So what if we had a square, all the sides are the same, all the angles are the same? How much is one angle going to be? Well, we already found out there's 360 degrees in a quadrilateral. There's 4 angles, so if I divide by 4, that's 90 degrees. So one angle would be 90 degrees. So if you know all the angles are the same and you want to figure out how much one angle is, all you have to do is divide the total by how many angles there are, right? Let's go, we had a pentagon, right? We had a pentagon, which was our 5 sides. So let's assume that all the angles are the same. All the sides are the same. This is a regular pentagon. So how many degrees are there going to be in one angle in a regular pentagon? Well, if you remember our answer from before, there were 540 degrees, right, in a pentagon. 540 degrees total. So one angle, if they're all the same, I divide by 5. 540 divided by 5, you can use a calculator, of course, and you're going to get 108. So one angle is equal to 108 degrees. Okay? So today's video was just talking about the interior angles of a polygon. Okay? We already knew that a triangle added up to 180 degrees, but now we know how to figure out for any polygon how many degrees there are. You do the number of sides minus 2, and then you multiply by 180. That's how we get the 360. Number of sides minus 2 times 180. That's how we get the 540. Right? So that's how you can figure out how many degrees there are in any polygon. The number of sides minus 2 times 180. Then, if you know that all the angles are the same, it's a regular polygon, all the angles are the same measure, then if you wanted to get one angle, all you have to do is divide by how many angles there are. So for a triangle, a regular triangle, 180 divided by 3, each angle is 60 degrees. For a regular quadrilateral, which would be a square, right, divide by 4, each angle is 90 degrees. For a pentagon, regular pentagon, right, 540 total degrees, divide by 5, one angle would be 108 degrees. Okay? So this is just looking at the angles, the interior angles of polygons. We're going to be doing this for the next couple days, give you a little bit of practice on this. If you have any questions, as always, email me. But we're just kind of continuing with our work here a little bit on polygons. Okay, have a great day.